Hey everyone, Mitch coming with the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So, you are missing out. You are making a big mistake. Yes, you, sitting right there, or standing, or whatever you're doing right now. You're making a big mistake right now because you are undervaluing a card that I mean, I knew it was undervalued, but I didn't realize how undervalued it is. How just, this card should be seeing so much more play than it does. It should be one of the top cards in Commander, and yet it is treated as if it is just a garbage card for all intents and purposes. Let's jump into it. So first up, this is not the card that is treated that way. Rampant Growth. Rampant Growth is an incredibly good card, right? The standard for Ramp, where Ramp got its name. Rampant Growth. A source for 1 in a green. Search your life for a basic land card for that playing a card to play tap, then shuffle. Basically, a standard Ramp spell, right? What Ramp is based off of. 2 mana, you get 1 land. Most mana rocks as well. 2 mana, you get, a tap for 1, essentially, right? This is the standard for Ramp. This is an incredible card. It sees so much play. It is the 8th most popular card in Commander. Yeah, and it has been reprinted, luckily enough, that is a 27-cent card still. Thank you. It sees play in 459,000 decks. More than that, even. 36% of eligible decks use it, and that number probably should be higher. An absurdly good, efficient way to ramp. This card sees the amount of play it probably should be playing. Obviously it is the 8th most popular card in Magic, in Commander that is. So this card is getting respect. Another card that is very similar to it, though, is, well, Sakura-tribe. This card also gets respect. This card is the 44th most popular card, and maybe it should even see a little more play than it does. A 1/1 Snake Shaman that costs 1 and a green. Sacrifice it, go get a basic land, put on battlefield tap, then shuffle. So this one, it's kind of interesting because this basically just Rampant Growth but on a body, so technically it's better in many situations. Sure, it could be seen as worse in like a very specific situation where it's like, hey, if a creature control dies, you lose a life or something like that. If someone else has like a Blood Arts in play or whatnot. Or like, hey, you can't sacrifice creatures for activated abilities. That would also be obviously not very good. That being said, certain decks actually want to have creatures, want to have them sacrificed, and at a base level, typically, this is just the same thing as Rampant Growth. Turn 2, ramp, you just kind of get into play, you've got a 1/1 blocker up until, the turn before yours ends, you sacrifice, you go get that basic. Just basically delayed Rampant Growth, but you're still going to land the exact same way. And this one sees play in 290,000 decks, 23%, again, that should be even higher, right? I mean, your Rampant Growth, your Sakura-tribe Elders, basically the exact same card. Very, 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 very good. Now, I'm going to tell you that there's basically a third Rampant Growth, essentially, that sees almost no play. At one point was very budget friendly, then suddenly went up to like a little outside of budget, then back down because it was reprinted finally because it's such an old card. This card, though, only sees play in 1% of eligible decks out there. 1%. Edge of Autumn. This card is incredible. This card is so good, and yet players are so hesitant to use it, and you should not be. Sorcery for 1 in a green. If you control 4 or fewer lands, search life for a basic land card for that card on the battlefield tab, then shuffle your library, cycling, sacrifice a land. This card sees play again in 1% of eligible decks. 13,000 decks, again, compared to what? Rampant Growth, right? For 36%, 35% more. 400 and I don't even want to do the math really quick on that. 440,000 or so more decks Rampant Growth sees play in, and this is basically the exact same thing for when you need it. When do you want to ramp? Early. Do you want to cast a Rampant Growth when you've got like 5 lands in play? Probably not. You're probably doing other things. You might want to cast some bigger ramp spells. Sure, there are going to be some times when, yes, you might want to, but yeah, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, the exact same card, essentially, right? Also, late game, Rampant Growth is useless, essentially. There are going to be times where you're like, okay, well, I've got no cards in my hand except for Rampant Growth, and I've got 10 lands in play. I don't need lands. I don't need mana. I need cards. There are going to be times when, obviously, you've got so much land, you're fine, but you don't have any cards. So, yeah, if Rampant Growth had cycling, you'd take that, right? This is Rampant Growth with cycling. Sure, again, it does have that specific downside, okay? It does have a downside. That's what players are worried about. They're worried like, oh, no, well, what if I've got 5 lands, then I don't want to cast, then I want to be able to cast this, and I don't want to sacrifice land. There might be some times that does happen. Yes, but more often than not, you're going to be ramping with this when you want to ramp with it. And you're going to be able to cycle it when you want to cycle it to get rid of it to go get something else. This is a card that is incredible. It saved me in so many situations where it's like, okay, early on, yeah, basically rampant growth, fantastic. Late in the game, you draw it and you're like, okay, it's a dead card. All right, I can sacrifice this land and then I can utilize that card that I just discarded to get another one, to replace it, to get something better, to help me out in the situation that I'm in. Again, people are so worried. Just try it. Just try it. Try Edge of Autumn in your decks and see how many times it helps you versus how many times it hurts you. Because the times that it's hurt me has been very few to none, where it's been like, oh no, I've got 5 lands in play and I would really like to cast this, but I can't. How many times you actually want to cast a rampant growth on turn 5, 6, 7? Barely. Rarely are you going to want to utilize your mana for a small ramp spell that late or middle of the game. So yeah, please just try it out. Again, this card is incredible. It's basically another rampant growth with a little more flexibility late in the game. Sure, it does have a slight downside. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. It is an incredible ramp spell that more and more decks that have green should be utilizing. It should be well above 1%. It's an incredible card. It is budget friendly. Again, thanks to that reprint. I think it was in Time Spell Remastered. Yeah, that's right. 35 cents right now. An incredible card that many players out there are sleeping on, and you should not be one of them. That's right, you, who's either sitting or standing or whatever you're doing. Make sure you're not sleeping on it because, again, this card is just basically rampant growth with the cycling feature on it. Yes, small downside that might hurt you in some circumstances, but not many, okay? Great card. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the comments below. Do you use Edge of Autumn? Are you into this card? Are you not into this card? Have you played it before? So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.